Welcome back to the Half a Day Show. I'm your host, Jay Half a Day, the flyest man on the internet, and this is the lunch break.
Is this camera on me?
I hope so.
I made a video a while back talking about how we need to start imagining what a post-MAGA society actually looks like, because it's almost inevitable that the House and the Senate, probably both, will flip blue in this midterm election. So what do we do after Donald Trump is no more? What do we do after J.D. Vance is gone? What do we do after the Charlie Kirks, the Joe Rogans, all these political pundits? What do we do after they're no longer popular? Should we take them back? Should we shun them? What do we do? So I made a video about how post-MAGA world needs to be more restorative. And I really sort of juggled with the idea of restorative justice and how it wasn't really a thing in the early progressive days. Like, I'm saying early progressive days relative to myself, like 2014 to 2016, that was peak woke. You know what I'm saying? I hate using woke in that sense because it's really lost its meaning. But if you think back to that era, that's when people were really big on, gender identities, pronouns were becoming more popular. DEI was really integrated into everything. Like the protests, like people were building black people in campaigns. We ain't had no business being in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas was trying to talk about making Superman black. Peak woke. You know what I'm saying? But with that came cancel culture. And a lot of these people who didn't grow up with a left-leaning or progressive, mentality were forced to adopt into a society that really leaned and favored left-wing and progressive values. Rightfully so, because it's like, okay, somebody wants to be called this thing. Respect their pronouns. Okay, that's what they want to be. That's what they want to be. It doesn't affect me calling you he, her, she, them, whatever. It does not affect me to just treat somebody with the decency to call them what they want to be called. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing to ask you, hey, don't be racist. Don't call them that slur. You know what I'm saying? Don't use the R word. Don't use the F slur. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cultural sensitivity is not a bad thing. But what do you do with people that didn't grow up using to that? It was a culture shock. And many of these people were cast away, ostracized, fired, lost their jobs, lost their livelihood, demonized for just not knowing. So what do we do differently this time? I think we need to really be sensitive to these people because it's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Like this MAGA movement really did show me just how many people are culturally insensitive or just don't care. Now, the line between don't care and culturally insensitive is probably razor thin. I'm not going to lie to you. So it'll be hard to gauge whether or not certain people can integrate back into society. And not to say that I empower or encourage cancel culture, but some of these motherfuckers don't deserve a day in the fucking sunshine after this shit. Charlie Kirk, Theo Von, Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, y'all do not deserve a livelihood after this shit because y'all are directly responsible for emboldening and freaking accelerating this movement. And you guys are up there on your platforms acting as if you didn't know, acting as if they didn't do exactly what the fuck they said they were going to do in Project 2025. Either you're a fucking moron or you're a fucking idiot. Take your pick. But either way, it's unforgivable because it's like you guys knew better. People were telling you in your circles, to your face, hey, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are going to do this. They fucking wrote it. Project 2025 is a real thing. They've integrated about 35% of this shit already. And y'all are up there acting like, well, what do we do now? This is fucked up. Please stop. Don't do this in Gaza. You guys are firing all these people. All because you guys wanted to say the R slur publicly on your platforms. You guys really proved woke right. You know what I'm saying? So to answer my own question, it has to be a real reckoning. Some people have to face consequences, and some people there is room for grace. Okay, a lot of y'all did get fooled. A lot of you are victims. You guys really did bite and swallow the red pill propaganda, the MAGA propaganda, which comes from Russia, by the way, but that's another video. Some of y'all did fall for it. And if you fell for it, I'm sorry for you. And if you're willing to learn and educate yourself and reintegrate into a progressive society, there's space for you. But if not, this shit will never happen again. I promise you it will never happen again. If America knows any better, Republicans and conservative ideology will never see the light of day again. He's caused so much damage. We have literally brain drained America for the next 30 years. eliminating EPA funding, NIH funding. So many PhD students cannot get funding for their research. because of this administration. You know what I'm saying? So many undergrads from different minority communities won't even be able to afford to go to college because he changed literally the FAFSA definitions. He's changed student loans. You know what I'm saying? So many federal workers were forced to retire early without passing on their institutional knowledge. So many federal workers were fired and forced to go to the private sector. So many things that we're losing right now. And that's a direct line to this fucking administration. It's ridiculous. And the people in this administration, specifically Stephen Miller, unforgivable. I don't want to ever hear that fucking bald bastard's name again after 2028. Seriously. Same thing with Pete Hegseth, the DUI in chief. Literally the most unprofessional soldier I've ever seen on national television. But we'll move along from that. Hopefully, anyway. But I did want to say one more piece that I think on that. And it's that, in this resistance movement against MAGA and trying to get things to shift back to progressivism, we need to stay away from making word cooked content. Like, it's unproductive. It's a momentum killer. It does nothing but feed into people's doomerism. And it's like, in an age where things can get better, you need to lean into radical optimism. And we'll be right back after this commercial break. Thank you for that lovely commercial break. Let's talk about redistricting. All for it. I think we should do it aggressively so that we don't have to worry about none of this shit ever again. The ends justify the means in this scenario. We have to put Republican, conservative, right-wing extremist ideology to bed immediately. We packing the courts. We giving Medicare for all. We're banning dark money from politics. We're doing a lot of shit. Texas, like I said, y'all started this shit. Democrats gonna finish this shit. If y'all have any fucking balls, stand on that. California, Illinois, New York, I don't want to hear a fucking Republican peep from y'all states. I don't give a fuck. Like, we definitely fighting fire with fire. Like, and in this case, although it is unethical, get unethical. And do that shit quickly so that we don't have to worry about this shit ever again. MAGA, y'all don't. Like I said, Project 2025, Democrats have to undo all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if we can get a head start of that in the midterms, by all means and by any means necessary. In other news, in other political news, I think Kamala Harris just announced yesterday that she is not going to run for California governor. She also hasn't ruled out running for office in the future. Me personally, I think she should run it back again. The moment is better for her this time, but just do it through the primary. I don't want any excuses next time about why y'all didn't want to vote for Kamala. Oh, we can't vote for Democrats because they didn't have an open primary. It's going to be open season, and the cream will rise to the top. She was the most qualified candidate in Democratic presidency history. She's brilliant, and she had a plan, and y'all failed her. We ain't going to fail her again. Kamala Harris, run that shit back. I'm going to read your book, too, when it comes out in September, but when it comes to 2028, I need you. America needs you. And as always, this has been an episode of The Half a Day Show, bringing you education, entertainment, and everything in between. I'll see y'all next time on the lunch break.